Lesson 4.7, Volume. The volume of an object is how much that object holds. Technically, it's how many 1 by 1 by 1 cubes of space there are inside of an object. So if you think of a cube, let's say we're talking about centimeters, and if you think of a cube that's 1 centimeter all on all sides, how many of those cubes would fit inside your object? And that would be your volume. To find the volume of an object that is the same width at the top that it is at the bottom, so it doesn't come to a point, it doesn't change width at any point, which is the only shapes we'll be dealing with. We determine how many cubes it would take to cover the bottom, so remember those little 1 by 1 by 1 cubes, how many of them it would take to cover the bottom, which is technically the area of the base of that shape, and we multiply that by how many cubes high the object is, or the height of the object. So we could come up with an equation that says the volume is the area of the base of any shape. So whether that base is a square or a triangle or a rectangle or a circle, the area of the base times the height. So let's look at a few examples. The first example we're going to look at is a rectangular prism or a box. So we have to find the volume of the following shape. So to start, we have to find out what the area of the base of that shape is. So the base of this shape is a square that's 4 by 5, or sorry, it's a rectangle that's 4 by 5, and we know how to find the area of a rectangle. It's just length times width. So the area would be 4 times 5, or 20. So the area of the base of that shape would be 20. So if we go back to what volume is, if we had those little 1 by 1, in this case we're talking about meters, so if we had little cubes that are 1 meter by 1 meter, we could fit 20 of them in the base of this shape. Okay, so that's the area of the base. So to find the volume of the object, we do the area of the base, which we said was 20, times the height of the object, which would be 10. So the volume would just be 20 times 10, or 200. The units we use for volume is meters cubed, because remember, we're counting how many of those little cubes fit inside an object. So our units are in meters cubed. Let's look at a second example. So now we're going to find the volume of this cylinder. So the process is the same. We find the area of the base and multiply it by the height. But in this case, our base is a circle with a radius of 5. So if you remember back, the equation for area of a circle is pi r squared. So remember, pi is 3.14, our radius is 5 squared. And if we put that in our calculator, we'd get 78.5. So the area of our base is 78.5. So to find the total volume, we do the area of the base times the height, which is 78.5 times 13. So that tells us the volume of our cylinder is 1020.5. And that's it. That's volume. There's no more to it. So for volume of any of the shapes that we're going to deal with, which are cylinders and rectangular prisms, it's just the area of the base, whether it's a circle or a rectangle, multiplied by the height. So give the worksheet a try that I gave out with this handout, and we'll see how you do.